if anyone wants to lead us in today's kirtan,
yeah, Supriya Mataji is there, so we'll invite Supriya Mataji to do kirtan.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
And Pramila Mataji is also there. Thank you, Pramila Mataji, to join. It's a great pleasure to seeing you in this group again. Back.
Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam Mataji.
Ji.
So,
Ji.
thank you, Mataji. So, Supriya Mataji, want to lead the kirtan?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I'll follow you. Please go ahead.
Shall I sing some? I mean, it is more like a kirtan, but also like a bhajan. Like you must be knowing Mukunda Madhav.
We will do kirtan for now, Mataji. So, so you follow my kirtan then.
Okay, sure. That would be good. Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Supreme Mataji, you are in mute. If you wanted to follow after me, you can do that.
Yeah, okay. This time I'll do.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai. Anand
Jai,
Vaishnav Vrind ki Jai.
Jai,
Prabhupada ki Jai.
Jai.
Thank you, Supriya Mataji, for assisting and leading the kirtan.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Prabhuji. I was following you.
Thank you, Mataji. It was very nice, very sweet.
Hari Bol Mataji.
The Supreme
Hari
Lord has
Bol.
given you
Well,
a quality which you need to utilize in Krishna's service. Please do a lot of kirtans, and we all wanted to get bliss out of your kirtans. Thank you again, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
very good comments have come in chat box, Prabhu, like for both of you. Like your voices are divine and you are into the kirtan. You both of you are into the kirtan. We are also in the kirtan.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji, Prabhuji, for all the blessings that you have bestowed. Basically, kirtan is like that. So, because the nama has got that ruchi, and the nama has got the power to really elevate our consciousness. That is the reason why we are discussing this topic today on the chanting the holy name. and the power of the holy name. So yesterday we were discussing about the difference between Nama and Nami. So can somebody quickly put forward their understanding based on yesterday's class? What is Nama and what is Nami, and how did we really come to some conclusions? Yes, anybody wanted to raise their hands? Please go ahead.
Ramesh Prabhu raised his hand.
Okay, anybody else other than Ramesh Prabhu? Only Ramesh Prabhu?
Only Ramesh Prabhu.
Okay, Ramesh Prabhu, please go ahead.
Nami is the divine personality. While Nama is the reference or name by which we refer to personality.
Is there any difference between Nama and Nami? Anybody?
Nama is Lord's name and Nami is Lord himself.
Okay. Is there any difference between Nama and Nami? Yes or no?
No,
yes.
Prabhu.
Yes.
There is a difference. Okay.
Yes.
Could you say on what basis you said that, and how is that qualified?
The difference is that Nama is always available on our lips. It is, and also it is gives the automatic grace upon us.
Okay.
It lifts us in our spiritual that way.
So Nama and Nami per se, there is no difference. Both are belonging to the Supreme Lord. So what happened is that in the Kali Yuga, especially in the Maha Mantra that we are chanting every day, the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, all the potency, whatever is there in the Nama, in the Nami, has been put in the Maha Mantra. So whatever effect you get while you see the Supreme Lord or get the mercy of the Supreme Lord to see him personally or be in his association, the same association you can get in the when you chant the holy name. Now the problem is that we are not able to get that association with the holy name. See, when I see some person, I can get that association of that person. Now, when we are saying that the Supreme Lord and the holy name of the Lord are not different, that means you should get the same level of consciousness when you see the person and when you take the name of the Lord. But that is not happening. But based on the mercy of the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he has put all that what you will be getting when you see the Supreme Lord versus take the name of the Supreme Lord, that is already bestowed. But when we take the name, we are not able to get all that what we should get, the consciousness or the feelings what we should get. Those there are 9 types of what is changes you will be finding in oneself when they really take the Lord's name. So that is not happening, and we need to see why it is not happening and how do we come out such that we can get all that feelings in the sun, not from a materialistic a sense of perspective feelings. This is all at a spiritual level feelings that we are talking about. We'll describe what are those feelings. And one of the feelings what we have seen yesterday is that when you take this holy name continuously, when you come to a stage, you always wanted to have thousands of ears and thousands of tongues you want, because you are saying with the tongue, and you are hearing from with the ears, you want thousands of them. So why? Because you are really experiencing that place. So we will find out how we can go about and get that level of purification such that we can experience that. So let me share the screen. Okay. I need few volunteers to read from one of the very nice and elevated book called Japa from Burujan Prabhu. He has written, I need somebody to volunteer. If you can raise your hands. Those who are new, who have not been taking the service, please raise your hands. So those who are very new, Gordon Prabhu, who are Pramila Mataji has not done any service. So one is Pramila Mataji. Who else has not been taking up any service? Okay, Gnana Prabhu. Okay, Gnana
Gnana
Prabhu.
Prabhu.
Yes. So Gnana Prabhu.
Praveen Prabhu also joined today, Prabhu.
Who Prabhu? Praveen Prabhu.
Praveen Prabhu.
Yes, yes. So let's give the chance to the. So yeah, any of the new fully joined who have not been taking up any service like Praveen Prabhu, Gnana Prabhu.
Trisha Mataji also joined today, Prabhu.
Okay, so you can raise your hands and we'll give you opportunity. Any one of you or two of you. Okay.
No new persons raised their hand, Prabhu. Virahanumal Prabhu raised his hand.
Okay. So Pramila Mataji wanted to read. Mataji, you can unmute and I can share the screen just now. Just thank you for volunteering enthusiastically. I appreciate that.
Bharati Babbar Prabhu also raised his hand.
Mataji, Bharati Babbar.
Sorry, Mataji.
Prabhuji, you can share the screen. Yeah.
1 second.
Shall I read, Prabhuji? Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji, I can hear you now. Who is volunteering?
Shall I read? Shall I read, Prabhuji? But
yes, yes, go ahead, Mataji.
Yeah.
Pramila Mataji.
Years ago, as I was chanting japa and walking around Vrindavan, I began to consider how to improve my chanting. What would it take for me to become a more enthusiastic chanter? I realized that I needed to become more aware of the potency of chanting Krishna's names. Look at the many obstacles I would have to overcome. Be able to chant steadily in a way that would push me towards spiritual advancement. I still find myself repeating today the
thought I had those. Sorry, Mataji, the print is not so good. Somehow managed to get it.
Yeah.
Because I have
years ago, I must. Shall I continue, Prabhuji?
Yes, Mataji, go ahead.
Yeah. Years ago, I must chant Krishna's holy names attentively. But whenever I attempted to be more attentive, I was forced to realize my incapability. Humbled, I continued to chant and began to pray for the many mercy of Krishna's holy names.
Okay, continue, Mataji. Two more.
I'm a teacher by nature and learn best what I teach. So I decided to also try to help others improve their chanting in the world in the mood of both seeking to learn and to teach others. I began to study Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's sacred and powerful words, the Sistastaka. What I found the research and arranged the what I found there amazed me. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had already completed the research and arranged the curriculum. The Sistastaka was already organized according to the principles. I had somehow to consider. Studying further, I discovered that it was in his
Harinama Chintamani.
yeah, Harinama Chintamani, and especially in his bhajana,
Rahasya.
Rasalila,
No,
Rahasya, sorry, Rahasya Sri,
Bhakti Vinod Thakur.
yeah, Bhaktinoda Thakura had also described the necessary details and practical clues to assist me and others to better their chanting.
Okay,
I
Mataji.
have extended.
Hmm.
Sorry,
Go
I
ahead.
have mind. Yeah, I have mind 9 jewels from these sources and fashioned them into the keys I know present. I now present at Japa retreats. This book is an expansion of those ideas.
Okay,
I
thank
have
you, Mataji.
extracted.
We'll stop there.
Thank you.
you very
Thank
much.
you. Thank
Hmm. So basically, this book called Japa is a wonderful book, and basically, why I have brought this into account is because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu very mercifully has given the only literature to this entire world which he has written with his own hands. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was this Sistastakam. So if you can understand Sistastakam, you can better your chanting, and that's what in this book it is revealed. And I'll be going to do some presentation today and revealing those things. So let me see. Okay. Just give me 1 second.
नाम चिंतामणि कृष्ण चैतन्य रस विग्रह पूर्ण शुद्धो नित्यमुक्तो.
Okay, so let me share my screen. So chanting is the most important element in devotional service. So hope everybody is able to see the screen.
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay. So chanting is the chief means of attaining the love of Godhead. So we are all looking for the love of Godhead, and chanting is the means by which you can attain that. And it also says that it does not depend upon any paraphernalia. That means to say, there are no strict rules and regulations how to chant and how basically what all you need at the time of chanting. So you don't even need the chanting beats per se, but somewhere it is recommended, and there are various ways of chanting, and which one is better is what we can choose. But per se there is no any requirement how to do chanting. Just taking the holy name is the goal that we have. So no qualification required. We also seen that humility and meekness, one attracts the attention of Krishna and achieves Krishna prema, which is the complete perfection of life. And we have seen this, and from Shastric evidences also we have seen that when Narada Muni asked how about these fallen souls in Kali Yuga, how can they get elevated? Then Brahma says that simply through chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, men are purified in this age of Kali, and the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna will appear in front of them, front of the chanter, as a brilliant beams of sun after the clouds are dispelled. So that is what we saw. And in various other Puranas also it is mentioned how powerful is the name Krishna, and it has been told that when you take that 3 times chanting Rama's name is 1,000 times equivalent to 1,000 times holy name of Vishnu. And similarly, when you take one time Krishna's name, it is equivalent to 3 times chanting of the holy name of Rama, and it is equivalent to 3000 times chanting the holy name of Vishnu. So when you say Vishnu, Vishnu, Vishnu 3000 times, it is equivalent to taking one time Krishna's name. Because see, mantra has got that potency. So it has been experimentally, modern science also has experimentally proven that when they, the water that is there, right? The water, when you kind of tell some bad words to the water molecular structure will change. That is proven in the modern science by ways by Japanese. I have some proofs also, and so many literatures are, what do you say, so many papers have been published on that. But when you expose the water to some mantra, so the structure of that molecular structure is changing. So that is what is experimentally proven. And now they have experimented on a plants also, that when you expose a plant by giving a lot of bad words to it, and you are always cursing that particular plant, versus when you are pleasingly going and doing some chanting or doing some kind of a activity which is very pleasing, so that plant is very happy and it is growing very nicely. So this is what has got, so it proves that the mantra has got the power. And as we have seen, you know, that the mantra is basically mantra. So can somebody tell me, we discussed this in the past, what does mantra means? Man and tra.
Manaha trayate iti mantraha.
Okay, so what does that mean, Mataji? Very nice, good that you have given the quote from the Shastra. What does that really mean? That the
it is control mind.
One which transfers the mind. So tra means which will transfer you. So the elevates you in one way. So mantra means the one which will transform or make, basically it elevates your mind to a next level. So that is what mantra means. So basically the Maha Mantra is, you may say that why there are so many other mantras, why not I take that, and why the same thing cannot happen? Basically this is Maha Mantra, which is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given us, and he has embedded whatever the transformation should happen to you in Kali Yuga for you, so that you can easily cross this material ocean and come back to the spiritual world. The potency has been included in this Maha Mantra. So that is the reason why we call it as Maha Mantra rather than any other mantra. So you can say, but all other mantras are there, but this Maha Mantra has got the potency to definitely elevate you in much faster and quicker way. So we discussed all this, so I'm just going. Holy name causes the devotee to give up all conventional duties, meditation and worship. Somehow or the other, chanted once awards liberation. Holy name of Krishna is the highest nectar. It is my very life and my only treasure. That's what Sri Sanatana Goswami is saying. So these are our Parampara Acharyas, which with their realization we have got. So in Chaitanya Charitamrita also it is given that Tare Madhye Sarva Sreshta Nama Sankirtana Niraparade Nama Leela Paye Premadhana. Of the 9 processes of devotional service, the most important is to always chant the holy name of the Lord. If one does so, avoiding the kinds of offenses, one very easily obtains the most valuable love of Godhead. So this is the Shastric evidence that we have. That means to say, when you always chant the holy name of the Lord. As long as we are on the platform of Nama Aparad or Nama Abhasa, our chanting will not be always be tasteful. See, we are experiencing this. we are not experiencing the taste when you are doing the chanting. So why it is happening is because as long as we are on the platform of Nama Aparad, or it is also called as Nama Abhasa, our chanting will not be tasteful. And there is an analogy that is given in the next we can see. Simply continue to chant and one will certainly make an experience of Krishna's real nature. So slowly, when you continue to chant, then you can experience that. Don't give up just because sometimes you feel that I'm not experiencing that like a taste, etc. But continue. But there are other ways also to find out how we can improve our chanting. So the holy name Krishna is like sugar candy. The analogy given is that our tongue is afflicted by jaundice of avidya, ignorance. We cannot taste anything sweet. But by carefully chanting the sweet names every day, natural taste awakens within the tongue and the disease is gradually destroyed at the root. So from the root, this ignorance is removed and we will be able to taste it. But the only thing is that you need to continue your chanting. For a jaundice person, whatever you give sugar cane, it is very, the Srila Prabhupada gives this example. For a person who is afflicted with jaundice, when you give him sugarcane juice, he feels very kadwa. He feels that it is very bitter. But it is actually should be sweet. But he got inflicted with jaundice, so he was not able to taste it. So, but again, the cure for jaundice is sugarcane juice only. When you take sugarcane juice, your jaundice will be reduced. So similarly, we have got afflicted with this ignorance, avidya, but when you take the holy name, that is the medicine for us. So our avidya will be removed. So and not from superficially, from the root it will be destroyed. The relationship between the chanting the holy name and the different levels of devotional service is what is discussed here. A first class Vaishnava is he whose very presence makes others chant the holy name of Krishna. See, when Srila Prabhupada went to US, he just went with the Nama only. So with Nama, he had full faith in the Nama, the chanting of the holy name. So he went there and made miracles that nobody could imagine just because he depended on Nama. And being a first class Vaishnava, in his is he whose very presence makes others to chant the holy name. So he made others also to chant the holy name. We do not have so much of purity, so we need to go and take association of the pure devotees. So that is what we should always strive for. So then we can see our progress coming very fast, and we will be able to see the taste in the holy name. See, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came, he was none other than Supreme Lord. He made everybody chant the holy name, not just the human beings. When he went to a few of the jungles, he made the tiger also take the holy name, the deer also to take the holy name, and the monkeys also to take the holy name, and they were all chanting and dancing in ecstasy, because that is the power of a pure Vaishnava. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is none other than the Supreme Lord, so he can definitely do that. But that movement in Bengal was spread because of that purity and the Vaishnavas who are been following. The meaning of the holy name, we have already seen that. We will reiterate that. Hare Krishna Mahamantra consists of 32 syllables. Hare Krishna and Rama is what is repeated in this 32 syllables. The meaning of Krishna, Krish means all attractive, Na means spiritual bliss. So this is one meaning. Another meaning is that Krish means either to draw or the entire existence is what it means. Krish means. Na means termination. So there are two meanings that may be concluded here accordingly. Therefore, Krishna means he who draws the conditioned souls. He who draws means he will drive you towards him. So that is what we are all conditioned souls. So he draws the conditioned souls towards him. he who finishes the material existence of birth and death. So both is what Krishna means. And we will see now what is Rama. Rama means spiritual enjoyment. And the meaning of Hare means Srimati Radharani, the most excellent of all gopis. So the Mahamantra expresses the following prayer. Whenever you are doing your chanting, you should keep this prayer in your mind. Ho Hare. Oh Hare means the energy of Krishna. Hey Radharani. Oh Krishna, please engage me in your devotional service so that I can get relief from the service of Maya. So what we got affected is that we got affected being in this material world. We got affected and we are only serving the Maya in whatever way. Maybe we are serving our body, our senses, or we are serving somebody else. We are not saying that you just give up that. But what we are, it is recommended here is that when you take the holy name and when you are engaging yourself in the devotional service, automatically everybody is satisfied, and you are and as if you are doing service to everybody. In fact, you do service, but again, it is like watering the root of the plant. Automatically all the branches, the flowers, the leaves and fruits, every part of the plant is getting nourished. So similarly, when you serve the Lord, automatically everybody, including yourself, will be satisfied. So that is where we need to always pray to the Supreme Lord when you are chanting also. Please engage me in this in your devotional service so that I can get relief from the service of Maya. Because there are only two things one can do. Basically, by nature, we cannot avoid doing service because the soul is always active. It wanted to do service. If you go to foreign countries also, they do not have the bhakti concept. They do not, unfortunately, not many are exposed or given the knowledge of bhakti. So at the senior old age level, what they do is that because service is their integral part of their nature, and they wanted to do service. Children do not stay with their parents, and they cannot even serve their grandchildren or their children. So they kind of rear some pets like cat or a dog or some other animal, such that they start serving these animals. And they kind of clean whatever the cat or a dog does, and kind of do service. So what it means is that we do not have a choice of not doing a service, but only thing is that our choice is whether to serve the Maya or serve the Supreme Lord. So when you serve the Supreme Lord, automatically everybody gets satisfied, including yourself. So you are requesting in the process of your chanting to engage, to asking or requesting the Radharani, who is the topmost devotee of the Supreme Lord, to help us in this process, and so that we can engage ourselves in the devotional service of the Supreme Lord. The effect of the holy name. So this is from Chaitanya Charitamrita, sorry, Sistastakam. So here it is this particular in Sistastakam it is mentioned that Cheto Darpana Marjanam Bhava Mahadavagni Nirvapanam Shreya Kairava Chandrika Vitaranam Vidyavadu Jivanam Anandam Buddhivardhanam Pratipadam Purnavaswadanam Sarvatma Snapanam Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. So we will see what does each word here means, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's the only literature that is given as is Sistastakam. 8 verses. The entire philosophy of Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, what we need to follow and what we need to do is all there in just 8 verses. Not more than 8 verses. Just 8 verses, everything is there. Let's see what It means, let there be, can somebody read this for me, please? Anybody can read?
Yeah, Prabhuji. Let there be all victory for the chanting of the holy name of Lord Krishna, which can cleanse the mirror of the heart and stop the miseries of the blazing fire of material existence. The chanting is the waxing moon that spreads the white lotus of good fortune for all living entities. It is the life and soul of all education. The chanting of the holy name of Krishna expands the blissful ocean of transcendental light. It gives a cool effect to everyone and enables one to taste full nectar at every step.
Thank you,
Thank
Prabhu.
you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So there are 7 effects of chanting. So when you do chanting, you will be getting these 7 effects. The first thing is that it stops the miseries of the material existence. So when you do attentive chanting, and the chanting has the power to do these 7 things in you. So stops the miseries of the material existence, life and soul of all education. So you will be able to realize who you are, who is the Supreme Lord, what is the connection between you and Supreme Lord. You may say, how is that possible? That is what is possible when you do your attentive chanting, because this is the education. Life and soul of all education is this. See, what it means is that, so why are we, say, we know that there are 3 things in which we need to get engaged. What are those 3 things which we have been discussing for quite some time now?
Sadhana, Seva and Swadhyay.
Sadhana, Seva and Swadhyay. So, see, sadhana, Seva and Swadhyay. The Seva you are doing, that means you are doing devotional service. Swadhyay, you are studying or you are gaining some knowledge. So these 2, if you want, you are doing it, and when you do your chanting, you will be able to do these 2 things properly. One, when you are doing your seva, you wanted to get into the seva mode. That will happen when you are doing your chanting properly. Okay, so one is dependent upon the other one. Why you are getting this knowledge, what you are talking about, this swadhyaya, that you can get the perfect knowledge when your chanting is done very attentively, or when you do your chanting perfectly, you will get the right kind of a knowledge, right kind of revelations will come to you. So, and when you are doing your service, you can do service with the right kind of a seva bhav when you are chanting it attentively. So the basis is chanting. So that's what it means here. And it is compared to waxing moon that spreads the white lotus of good fortune to all the living entities. So when you do chanting, it is not that you will experience that spiritual bliss and it will be retained only with you. The entire atmosphere wherever you are chanting will become, or it will transform into a good fortune for all the living entities. So that's the power of chanting, because the mantra has got the effect to transform the material also. That's what we have seen experimentally. It has been proven that when you do chanting, and the water molecular structure is changing, and it has been experimentally proven. I can send you that paper also if you want. It's a very well drafted scientific paper, and there is one video also that wherein if you chant at a frequency, you can also make the glass break. That has been proven so many times, because the voice or the vibrations which are there have the potency to break anything. Make or break can happen. So that is what, and it affects the human beings for sure. And the next thing is that full nectar at every step. So whenever you are chanting the holy name, whatever that process you are following, it is always blissful, and it's cooling effect to everyone. So it is like refreshing for everyone, expands the blissful ocean of transcendental life. So cleansing the mirror of the heart. So this is where your anartha nivrutti is happening, and we will see that Cheto Darpana Marjanam is the first thing that will happen. Cheto Darpana Marjanam. That's what cleansing the mirror of the heart. So let's see this one. So Cheto Darpana Marjanam, the mirror of the heart is purified of the dust of material impression consisting of desires to enjoy separately from Krishna and of bad habits and anarthas. So we are all, so much of bad habits got accumulated and we wanted to separately enjoy Abhinna. So we wanted to enjoy being away from Krishna, because that is where we all came here. And Krishna said, okay, enjoy, but you cannot do that in this dham. So go to the material world and fulfill your whatever you wanted to. So that's where. And now when you take the chanting, you will be able to revive your original consciousness, and you should be able to purify yourself so that you become eligible to go back to Goloka. So that is what it is. Now, so we will see the rest of the things at later point of time. Probably one or two, then we will go for some question and answers. Anything that you wanted to discuss? So Bhava Maha Davagni Nirvapanam. So chanting extinguishes the suffering of the tremendous blazing fire of material existence. So the material existence is compared with a tremendous blazing fire. So if you wanted to stop the blazing fire or the fire that is caught in the dense forest, you see that in some foreign countries, especially in US and other places, sometimes the forest fire happens, and you cannot even try to put water through helicopters or this and that. So how can it be distinguished? How can you extinguish the fire in the forest if it is like so much of a forest fire, right? So the only way that you can really extinguish the forest fire is by dense what do you say rainfall. If it is happening, then the forest fire can be extinguished. So that is what is compared here. Bhava Maha Davagni Nirvapanam. So the blazing fire of material existence, whatever where we are in, this can be extinguished through chanting only. The spiritual master is receiving the benediction from an ocean of mercy, just as the cloud pours water on the forest fire to extinguish it. So the spiritual master delivers the materially affected world by extinguishing the blazing fire of material existence. Because of the mercy of the Supreme Lord, the mercy of the Guru, so we get the benediction and we can also extinguish this fire. Therefore, Srila Prabhupada said that the most important instruction of spiritual master is to chant the 16 rounds daily. So it is recommended that we should be able to take up this chanting. Sooner or later, we should be able to come to a daily, we should be able to do 16 rounds of chanting. And one last thing before we end for today and take the discussion, and we'll continue it later. So this there are a couple of marks that are there. That is Sripada Ramanujachari. He is one of the very prominent acharyas who said that there are different ways or different paths one can choose to attain the Supreme Lord or to purify ourselves. One is that the other paths whichever are there are compared with the Markata mark. Markata mark means monkey mark. See, the analogy given by Sripada Ramanujacharya, the Markata mark is basically what a monkey, the monkey's child does is that if suppose it wanted to go travel along with his mother, what the child monkey does is that the child monkey catches the mother monkey, her belly, and freely the mother monkey is jumping from one branch to another branch, and it is keeping on moving without any difficulty. The responsibility of not to fall lies with the child monkey to catch the mother monkey very tightly. So the mother monkey really doesn't take any responsibility. So this is called Markat Marg, and this is what you will be doing when you are following the other paths such as Jnana Marg or Ashtanga Marg or Karma Marg or whatever Marg. This is Markat Marg. That means all you are depending upon your own endeavor. So that is what is Markat Marg. Sripad Ramanujacharya tells that the Bhakti Marg is Marjas Marg. Marjas Marg means the marg which the kitten or the cat marg. See, what does a kitten do is that whenever it wants to get the attention of his mother, so what the kitten do? It just says meow, meow, it does. And just by hearing the call from the kitten, the mother cat, wherever it is there, it is going to come looking for the kitten. And what it does, how does it carry? It carries with its mouth and takes it wherever it wants to take the kid. So now the kitten is not putting any effort per se. It is just depending upon the mother. So that is what the Marjas Marg means, that you, when you take a Bhakti Marg, you are depending upon the Supreme Lord. And you just have to do what? As the kitten is doing meow, meow, you also have to sit down attentively, do the chanting, and with that faith, if you do, but then the mother kitten, mother cat will come and pick you nicely, and you do not have to do anything. It will take you to wherever you are supposed to go. It will take you there effortlessly. So now, so this is the Bhakti Marg, which is very Sugamya and Suramya. That is what it is mentioned. This process is very enlightening. At the same time, the experience, you can experience that bliss in this particular marg. So, and if you see our literature, we have seen that the devotees have followed this marg and they have attained their perfection, and they've attained their ultimate destination in their life. So it is proven and it has been tested also. So we have seen that Draupadi has tried to safeguard her Lajja when these Kauravas were trying to disrobe her. And she called upon the Kurus who were there, and the elders who were there to save her, but nothing came up. And she asked her husbands. Nothing came up. Finally, she just called the Hare Krishna Krishna's name, and Krishna came. So Krishna came because she was a bhakta and she was a devotee, and she called Krishna's name, and Krishna came and saved her. So similarly, when we do with that chanting, with that faith, and with that attention, this is, and in fact, there is no other way than this for you to get that and experience that bliss. So there is no other way. Just this, all this discussion what we are doing during this presentation or whatever we are doing is finally to tell you that or make us realize, because our false ego is so dominating that we are not ready to accept that chanting is the only way. So you might give your arguments based on this, based on this, but your mind is not really taking this very seriously, and you yourself, your false ego is also stopping you not to pick up. Say there is another analogy, or this is what you can see when Lord Sri Rama came to the Swayamvara where Sita was there as a bridegroom, and there were he was given a challenge, or they were given a challenge that Shiva Dhanush should be lifted and broken and break it. So there were other princes who wanted to try, and they tried, but they were not even able to lift it. Forget about breaking. So they, and the Acharyas say that this Shiva Dhanush represents the false ego that is there within us. And when you break this false ego, which has been accumulated, the Cheto Darpana Marjanam, whatever is this dust that is accumulated, the false ego that is accumulated, when you break this, then you will be able to, as Rama was able to get Sita in the Swayamvara, she represents the Bhakti Mata. So we will be able to experience that Bhakti only when our false ego is broken, and when we eliminate this false ego. And as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu rightly mentioned, when you take the Lord's name, when you do the chanting, Cheto Darpana Marjanam will happen. That means your heart will be cleansed from all the impurities, and it will take some time to get rid of all the impurities, but one should not lose hope, and one should really understand that there is no other way, there is no other way, there is no other way other than taking the Lord's name in this Kali Yuga. So for our spiritual enhancement, and for a spiritual enlightenment, and to attain that spiritual bliss, joy, we just need to depend upon chanting. So with that, we will end for today. If you have any questions, we will take it up. If not, we'll continue this discussion tomorrow for some more time, and we'll experience and we will be able to discuss in detail how to overcome some of the anarthas, and how we can come to a stage, nama abhyas they say. So you would be able to do the nama, and you can experience that joy where you are always asking, give me thousands of years and give me thousands of tongues such that I can experience this joy, because I am not satisfied with one tongue, with 2 years. We want more, we want more. So give me more. So that is the kind of experience you will have, and you will be able to experience it. So with that, I will request, if you have any questions, we'll go with Ravi Prabhu to start with. Yes,
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Whether this monkey's marg is better or cat's marg is better, Prabhuji?
No, you tell me, Prabhu, which one is better for you?
For me, it is monkey's, Prabhu. But what is advised by Gurus or Sadhu?
And Ramanujacharya rightly mentioned that which marg is better, he told. See, in the monkey's marg, Markata marg, what happens is that you are supposed to tightly catch the mother. And if you are, because of your strength is not good, or you are not able to, then you may fall down anytime, right? That risk is there. But when you depend upon the mother kitten, mother cat, and it knows when you call, it will come and nicely, and it will pick you up and put you wherever you are supposed to go. It will take you there. So you are not. So basically, what the kitten is doing is that it is sitting in one place nicely and just calling her mother. So similarly, when you do chanting, you need to understand one thing. You need to come out of this mindset. Each one of us should come out of the mindset that with my endeavor, I can do things. So Bhakti Marg is not with your endeavor. Endeavor is there. But more than that, you are depending upon the Supreme Lord's mercy. You are depending upon the Lord. See, in the prayer of while you are chanting also, what is the mood? What is the bhava you have? Oh, Radharani, the energy of the Supreme Lord. So I am praying you such that Krishna, I can engage myself in Krishna's devotional service. Please engage me in the devotional service of Krishna such that I can come out of the engagement that I have serving the Maya. So that is the prayer and that is the mood. And if this has to happen, it has to happen by mercy only. It cannot happen with our own endeavor. because it is depending upon the Supreme Lord whether he can, he want you to, yes, he will see your endeavor and then he can also, but again, finally it is depending upon the Supreme Lord. And he will make the decision whether this particular person, this is what we have seen in so many instances in the Bhagavatam and other places, that by taking the shelter of the holy name, you are really getting the, and we have seen yesterday the Shabari Mata. Shabari Mata did not go search for where is Krishna, where is Rama, where is Rama. So the Rama came to Shabari Mata looking for her, like a mother cat coming to look for a kitten. The same way Rama came looking for her. So similarly, and it is recommended that you need to really take up this chanting with that mood, with that bhava, that you are totally, completely, you are surrendering. See, whatever Krishna is saying in the Bhagavad Gita, Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Raja. So how will you experience that surrender? That surrender you can experience and you can put it into practice when you do chanting. And when you do chanting with that bhava only, you will be able to surrender. But see, this is an instruction given by Supreme Lord, Sri Krishna, and how to put it into practice. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came and gave you how to really put that instructions, what is given in Bhagavad Gita by Lord Krishna, to put it into practice. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came and gave you the way to go to implement that. So it is a difference between Gnana and Vijnana. You know the difference, right? Can somebody tell me what is the difference between Gnana and Vijnana?
Can I answer that?
Yeah, can you raise your hand, Prabhu? I just wanted to see.
Yeah.
Anybody else? Gnana and Vijnana, what is the difference? We have been using these words quite often. Yeah. We do not have Behra Prabhu today. Oh, he is there. Behra Prabhu, what do you think? We are okay with your chat message also. Yeah. Anybody else? Gnana and Vijnana. Pramila Mataji, you are a academician. So thank you for joining. We're very happy to see you. Okay, so go with Ramesh Prabhu. Okay, the Bapi Prabhu is there. We'll go with Bapi first. Bapi Prabhu.
Prabhuji, Jnana is knowledge and Vijnana is science, is it?
Okay. So science and knowledge, what is the difference? Okay. Not quite there, but still, it's the attempt was good. Thank you, Prabhu. Ramesh,
thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, Jnana is knowledge, the speculation. It could be speculation or pure knowledge, but
Prabhuji,
but
Jnana is knowledge and vision. Vijnana is vision. Sorry.
Okay, thank you, Mataji.
Thank you.
Ramesh Prabhu, continue.
Yeah, Jnana is knowledge mostly, which is speculation, while Vijnana is in-depth, innate, sublime knowledge, science of it.
Okay.
So really getting hold of it.
Yes, thank you. So basically, Gnana is knowledge that everybody got it. Vijnana is application of that knowledge is called Vijnana. Okay. So which is higher, the Gnana is higher or Vijnana is higher?
Yeah.
Vijnana is higher. Why? Because just having the knowledge, what good it is for you? So the Vijnana is application of that knowledge. So what, how we are really seeing Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is that he has given you Vijnana. Why? Because whatever Krishna has told in Bhagavad Gita, he said, Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Vraja. Surrender all your dharmas and finally you surrender it to me, and then I will give you liberation. So now to implement this instruction, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given that Vijnana. That means practical application. How I can do it? By taking the Lord's name, by chanting with that mood, you can really surrender. And you see, and that surrender nature, that bhava will get developed when you do the chanting. So when you do the chanting, and as we told, the process and the destination is the same in our whatever we are doing. The process is chanting and our destination is also chanting, and this chanting will take you to the destination. And when you do what you do when you go to the destination, you will still be doing chanting in the sense you will be in that bhava of taking the Lord's name, and whatever other things you are going to do, seva and other things will be aligned with that process. So hope I have answered that, Prabhu. If you have any other question, anybody, we can take it up.
Jashit Prabhu, I had a question, Prabhu.
Yeah, Jashit Prabhu, go ahead, Prabhu. Thank you.
Prabhu, you said the other day that there is a Vedic reason why we should take Hare Krishna first in the Mahamantra instead of Hare.
Vedic reason. See, what happened is that in the Vedas, in our scriptures, it has been written that this particular mantra was there. Rama first and then Krishna. So that is how it has been written. In our scriptures, it is there. Now, when in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 500 years back, when he came, but lot of people there was, because you know that, right? Now Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was a kind of he wanted to give this mantra to each and everyone with no qualification. That means whether you are a dog eater, or you are a Shudra, or you are a Brahmana, or a Vaishya, no qualification required. So if you wanted to give the mantra, so there was little bit of protest from the other communities. So then in that sense, he put this Krishna as first. You can say that, and it is also there in other literatures where Hare Krishna Mahamantra is mentioned, that Krishna first. But there were some other so in the literature, some other places where Hare Rama was first. So yes, see, finally he somewhere or the other we need to bring this Mahamantra accessible to everybody, and not to go into the unnecessarily discussions with others. Is that what is there? We can use this Mahamantra, and the bhava is very important, and the meaning of Mahamantra is very important. So that's what we need to take. So there could be more of a better explanation than what I have given, but for now we'll stick with this. Okay. Any other questions anybody has?
Ramesh Prabhu raised his hand, Prabhu.
Okay, go ahead, Prabhu. Last probably 1 or 2. Go ahead, Prabhu.
So I know Ramanama, and then I know Krishna Nama. Hare is Hari, that's how I recognize. But Hare is innate potency, energy of Krishna, and we are relating it to Radha. So Radha is less heard, at least for me. So
Radha is what, Prabhu?
Compared to the Nama of Krishna and Rama and Hari, Hare is or Radha is less known to me. So I would like to know more and more about Radha so that I can have the taste of it.
Okay. So the analogy is that given earlier, which we discussed, you need to call or take this Hare Krishna Mahamantra as if a child is calling which is lost. The child got lost. Now it desperately wanted to reach its mother. And so the mother potency is what we are trying to get, because mother is more merciful than father. That is what we have seen. So in your mundane example in your household also, father is not that reachable. For mother is very reachable, and mother can understand more. And if mother recommends to the father, my father is going to agree. So generally that is what. So in this analogy also, are in this the bhava in which we are doing, and in fact the Hare is the energy of the Supreme Lord, and she is none other than the Radharani. And when you take her shelter, shelter in the sense with that bhava, when you are crying, that see, the problem with us is that we are not even desperate to really come out of this particular material existence, because we are still thinking that we will get the enjoyment, whatever enjoyment I am looking for, I will get it in this material world. So that is our problem. So our problem is that we do not want it to cry. We do not want it to come out of this material existence, because we are somehow the other, we are getting satisfied here. Then where is that cry going to come? Where is that desperateness is going to come when you're doing chanting? So you need to really cry. You need to really have that desperateness that I wanted to come out of this material existence. Sooner or later, I have to go to my original abode. So, and sometimes in the process, Krishna may also, if he is merciful, he may give you certain difficulties such that you may take his shelter. He might, it's given in Bhagavad Gita saying that 4 types of people come and take Krishna's shelter. Artho Jignasa is 2 kinds of people, where those people who are having lot of difficulties, they come to take shelter. The second one is Jignasa, those people who are curious to know about the other things, why bad things happen to good people, etc., etc., the curious kind. And some people who are Arthardi, so those people who are interested to make some money also come to him. So these are the 4 types of people who come to him, and we need to really go and do our chanting with that mood. And we need to understand that this material existence and the material world is what did Krishna say? It is temporary, and what is that? What is the shloka where he says it is? I'm not able to recollect. What did he tell about this material world? Anybody?
Dukkhalayam Ashashvatam.
Dukkhalayam Ashashvatam. So it is basically, it is, but we are not ready to accept it now. So we are thinking that this is permanent. Whatever body is there, it is permanent. It will never get deteriorated, and you will never be old. You are thinking like that, and you will not die. That's what you are thinking. Can you? But once you understand the reality that this is Dukkhalayam and Ashashvatam, then only you can really take the shelter of the Nama. So we are not taking, and realize that sooner or later we have to take, and we don't know when we will be ending this life, human form of life. The main problem with us is that, or one of the dangers that we have in human form of life, we never know again you'll get the human form of life, or you'll become a monkey, donkey, cat, or some other insect. You never know. So take this opportunity not to frighten you with this philosophy saying that if you don't take up to chanting, you'll become this, you'll become that. No, we are not doing it. But again, at the same time, we need to understand that best utilize this human form of life. How can you best utilize? Not just by sleeping, mating, and defending these 4 things which you are doing will not really make any difference in your life. So you also die, a cat and dog also will die. So what difference it makes? So one has to take this opportunity and be very thankful to the Supreme Lord that he has given us an opportunity. There are so many people who have not got this opportunity. At least we know now that this is the mark that we need to follow. So only thing is that we need to follow. But the good part is that when you follow this mark and do whatever endeavor, this will not go waste. This will be carried forward to your next life. That way it is going to be an add-on to you. So if you have made millions of dollars here or whatever, And you have to leave everything here. If you are very beautiful, then what will you do? You cannot carry your beauty along with you. So you have to leave everything here. All the material things you have to leave here. So one has to really make shift their consciousness and make adjustment with their mind, which is what is not allowing you to take up Krishna consciousness. And chanting is the process, and it is the way, and it is the destination for us. And it will all do that whatever we wanted to do. And so we need to take up chanting seriously. And for that, we need to put the endeavor of leaving our laziness, because that laziness is basically a reason why the mind is playing games with you. Laziness is there because your mind is really playing that game with you. So if you wanted to control your mind and make mind your subordinate, you have to really put some effort, and that seriousness should be there while you are doing chanting, and that all will happen slowly and steadily when you take the association of the devotees, and then things will happen. So if no other question, then we will end for today. Gordhan Prabhu, is that okay? Any other questions are there in the chat? No?
No other questions in chat box.
Okay. So 1 minute, we'll just do the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra and then. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय. Thank you very much, everyone. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Mataji is in the temple. Very nice, Mataji. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. See you tomorrow. Mataji, Snehal Mataji has got one doubt, or she's raised her hand. So we'll address that and then leave for today. Snehal Mataji, you have some question? You raised your hand.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, I am Sudhir. I have a question.
Oh, thank you, Prabhu. Very happy to see you again.
Prabhuji, I am listening your lectures. I am enjoying.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Yeah, it is really giving a lot of information and about spiritual word.
Thank you, Prabhu.
But I have some silly doubts, Prabhuji.
No, go ahead, Prabhu. There is nothing called silly. So please enlighten us with your doubt, please.
Like the doubt is, as means all are, we want to move to Krishna consciousness. And the way through which we can improve our Krishna consciousness is japa. Then why the japa is Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram means why the Ram is also included in this? Because basically we are more concentrating toward Krishna, and we are saying that Krishna's chanting Krishna's name is 3 times powerful than Rama's. then it can be just Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. No?
Okay. Actually, in our literature, in this Mahamantra, Rama doesn't refer to Lord Rama.
Okay.
So that we need to understand. Rama, what we have given, if you see, it is the what was that definition given for Rama in the slides that we have shown?
Spiritual enjoyment.
Spiritual enjoyment. So you also wanted to spiritually enjoy. Enjoy in the sense not for because your soul characteristic is to be in that particular blissful state, because Sachidananda Swarupa, because you're qualitatively, you and Supreme Lord are the same. Quantitatively we are different, but we wanted to attain that. So that is the Rama. So that is what, this is not a Supreme Lord, Lord Rama that we are referring here. No. No. That's a good question, Prabhu. Most of the people get confused here only.
Because
they also get confused. They also confused saying that whether Krishna is greater or Rama is greater. So those people who have got the notion that Rama is greater, they wanted to put Rama first in the Mahamantra and then do it. But actually it is not. So Krishna, so basically we need to understand. That is the reason we are trying to decipher that Mahamantra itself. What is Mahamantra and what is the goal of Mahamantra? So very nice question, Prabhu. So tomorrow in our class, we will discuss about one concept called Abhideya, Abhideya and Prayojana. So, so when we understand what is Abhideya and what is Prayojana, how we can achieve this, that is what we wanted to really, really experience that. So tomorrow we will discuss more in detail, but very excellent question you have asked. Sudhir Prabhu, please come.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Yeah, no, it has removed my doubt also, Prabhuji, because I was thinking that Rama is also incarnation of Krishna, so it may be, but why two only? Why two incarnations only? Like that, like that, some doubts.
Yes,
but
thank you, Prabhu.
It is good explanation from Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu. It is not my explanation, Prabhu. What I have heard and from the seniors, I'm just telling you. So, but, and that's a good thing. I'm also learning as part of your questions. You ask excellent questions. And I've been asking Snehal Mataji, where is Sudhir Prabhu? So, thank you.
I'm attending, but I'm getting late every day. So partly I'm attending.
Okay, anytime if you find time, please attend. Thank you, Prabhu. So, Gordhan Prabhu will end for today.
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay.
Thank you, Anandal, for joining today's session. For tomorrow meditation, please, I request everyone, please join in tomorrow meditation, Japa meditation.
Actually, we were supposed to do one round of chanting today. Because of the lack of time, we are not able to do. But that doesn't mean that we are giving less priority for that. It is my mistake that I couldn't adjust it properly. Please forgive me. Tomorrow morning we will do the chanting. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Dandavat Pranam, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.